Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the EVO Podcast, where today I'm introducing because Carrington can't stop saying the same thing over and over again.
It's consistent.
Today, we have actually an interview with an artist, Kid Dez. But before that, you want to get into some of the news?
Yeah, let's keep Dez in his little room for now. So we have some news about the new Civic Type R from our professional leakers out there that aren't us. There's no horsepower numbers. There's no torque numbers. True. But what there is
the looks.
Looks and track numbers, actually.
Really? Okay.
So the new Civic Type R is the fastest front-wheel drive car to go around the Le Mans ring.
I would hope so, because the old one was the fastest before.
Yeah, it was. So the track time of this Type R is 7 minutes and... Oh, no. Wait, there we go. 7 minutes and 43 seconds.
Okay.
The last one, the 2019 Type R, was 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Wait, no. Reverse that. Yeah.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I just read it in reverse.
So it's 3 seconds faster
It's
now.
3 seconds faster, yes.
Okay, all right.
Which means that it's a slight horsepower bump. People are expecting like maybe 10 horsepower more.
Yeah.
But also they talked a lot about the driving feel and actually making it just feel and drive better. So if they did more handling improvements, then that's likely where that 3 second improvement came from.
Yeah.
And for me, any car that handles better than it did before, power is good, but managing the power is important. So handling is
for sure
one of the main things about a car that people find that important.
What do you think about how it looks, though?
I like how it looks. It reminds me of a bulldog. But I do miss
it is less racer.
I liked how flashy the old Type R looked.
Yeah, as much as I hate to say it, I agree.
You can easily port out the vents too and make them functional.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all there in the right spots.
Yeah, I don't really like how the back end of the new Civic generation looks. So by proxy, the new Type R's back end doesn't look great. But overall, I mean, it's still fine. It still looks serviceable.
It has a very cool wing, though, in the back.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm sure it's more functional than the other one was. The other one still looks better to me. That one was crazy. I don't know. It was the tuner car with all the body modifications you would want for said tuner car, but just from the factory.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Which just made the tuned cars look even crazier. It was great. It was a great time.
Did you notice that the exhausts are swapped?
Are they?
In the old Type R, there was 2 big exhausts and 1 small one in the middle. Mm-hmm. Now it's opposite. There's 1 big one in the middle and 2 small ones around it.
Nice. Look at that. Attention to detail.
Yep.
What do you have?
What do I have? Well, I have Google trying to bully Apple into adopting RCS again and probably going to fail again.
Why?
Because Google believes that RCS is just better because it's universal and everyone can use it, which is true.
Everyone
but
can
also,
use
RCS is just bad.
I mean, everyone can choose to lick the floor.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't say it's that bad. It's working on it. It's been really slow to get good, and all the features that were in Apple's iMessage and stuff are slowly being pushed onto RCS, but
it doesn't have the data capacity for it.
Yeah.
So it's just bad.
Yeah. I can't see a world where Apple is ever going to agree with it, no matter how much bullying there is.
I don't think any Apple fans will even agree with that. I think the better move would just be for Google to make their own standard, since they own Android, and there's only 2 softwares in the world, basically. Android and iOS. I would think that they would just...
Windows. Rest in peace.
Android Windows. And iOS. So I would think that Google would be able to make something. Never mind. They had Duo and they had I see the trend. Never mind.
They have so many things that they start and then stop.
Yeah, never mind. Google's probably gonna make the best messaging system, and then no one's gonna use it and kill it.
Yep, absolutely.
Like Google's gonna make the cure to cancer. No one's gonna use it, and then they're gonna kill it. And
do you have any other news?
Yeah, we have a new Razer keyboard that is a competitor to the G915.
Now, why is keyboard news?
Because it's the reason that I can finally get away from GHub, which I hate. There's an update for GHub, right? And you know what it allowed me to do? Not have to use GHub. Because I could install things to memory on my keyboard and mouse. And it would stay there. And when GHub breaks, I don't have to worry about it now. Before, when GHub broke, it just broke everything else. So now I just uninstalled GHub completely. But if I need to change anything, I have to install GHub again, which seeing the GHub logo load just like makes my eye twitch. I hate it so much.
I can't say I've heard anyone else have this much of a hatred towards GHub.
I don't know why I have such a problem. This is going on my second computer now with the same issues with GHub. I hate it.
That's nuts.
Well, this Razer keyboard.
Have some peace.
Yeah, I finally get some peace. This Razer keyboard is literally a G915.
Nice. Just a Razer.
Except Razer with optical switches, which when I get this keyboard, I look forward to switching over and, seeing how optical switches do. Because it's basically just, what's it called? Analog, It gives you like the pressure, not pressure, but you
get that depth.
Yeah. So you can like press in and it's like a light press or a hard press, Yeah,
they act like triggers on a controller essentially.
Which is cool. Which is very cool.
Yeah, that is very cool.
You can drive a car in Forza on your keyboard effectively instead of just full brake, full gas.
All gas, no brakes.
Yeah. Which is very cool. And I'm surprised they're not getting a lawsuit for that keyboard. It looks exactly the same as the G915.
Yeah. Even down to that scrolling thing.
Yeah, even down to the volume knob or volume wheel. It's the exact same keyboard. And when I get this keyboard, I'm going to review it on this channel. Nice. And it's getting 5 stars because I don't have to use GHub.
That's your only criteria?
That's my only criteria now. And the unfortunate thing is I can't get away from it because I use a G502 and I love it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be in my life forever. Anis, what do you think about GHub? I
have never had to use it, really.
Oh.
I've had one GHub device in my life, that G something Romer's keyboard with the no backlight or anything with the light speed sensor.
Yeah.
And the keyboard itself was just meh, and I didn't really use the GHub software because I just used it as a keyboard. And then I moved away from it back to my trusty CM Storm, perfect keyboard with the perfect size. So I've never looked back.
How many of those do you have?
I have too many. I have 3 because there was 3 variations of this keyboard. One with cherry mix browns, one with blues, and one with reds. And I have a broken brain, so I needed all of them. So now I have all of them.
Okay, that's a choice.
Yep.
That's a choice you made.
Although, to be fair, all 3 of them, I paid less than your one keyboard. It's
but my one keyboard is great, and it looks great.
Well, you see, all 3 of these keyboards are great.
But do they give you stress headaches when you have to open the software for them?
No, I haven't touched a single software for this keyboard.
Oh, lucky.
I don't think there is a software for this keyboard.
You are lucky.
Yep. And my mouse is a Logitech, but it's MX Master Series, so it has nothing to do with gamers or GHub.
You want to trade?
So, perfect. No, I'll pass. I love this setup.
Let's get on to our interview. You want to introduce him?
We'll move on to him. Well, actually, we'll let him introduce himself.
Yeah.
Yep. You want to introduce yourself? Let the people know who you are.
I'm Kid Dez. I'm a Houston artist, just starting up. independent artist. Just, you know how it goes. I make some R&B, hip hop songs and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm here to talk to you guys. What's up?
Let's all give this guy a warm welcome here. So let's start off with a nice little question. I was told not to ask this question, by the way. So, Mr. Dez, what is your inspiration? What inspires you?
My life, you know. A lot of the times when it comes to writing, it's like little segments of life. Like unless I'm making like a radio banger or something like that, usually it's something how I feel. Sometimes I write love songs, sometimes I write introspective songs. That's just life kind of just inspires art, you know? And I just do that. I just write and then I just go off what I know. Either that, my life, or, you know, the lives of the people around me, you know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had a song that may have rubbed someone the wrong way?
Actually, yeah, I have really? Had a song that has rubbed somebody the wrong way. I almost lost a friendship over it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And the song's not even out yet. It's going to be, but they had heard it on Instagram, a snippet of it, and they didn't want to talk to me for like a good 2 days, almost a whole weekend. And we resolved it, but they were like, I don't know why you would write a song about this whole situation. And I'm like, well, I'm not writing down names, you know, right. I'm just, you know, rapping about a situation and hoping that the people who hear the song can relate to it at a certain level, you know? Yeah. So I don't know where my future holds with you know, rubbing people the wrong way, but I definitely still want to express myself wholeheartedly, you know.
Right, of course.
That's nice. Unfortunately, it rubs someone the wrong way, but you know, there's always going to be that person when it comes to making music, I feel.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So you recently had your first performance ever.
That's true, yeah.
It was on Sunday of last week. I was there.
I was not able to make it,
coverage.
It looked really good.
It was definitely an experience. My main thing was not even about me; it was about the other artists.
Right.
They did most of them that did a very good job, and it was like I could see where a lot of them were practicing and putting in that effort and having good crowd control.
Absolutely.
When it comes to my personal performance, being the first time and not having a lot of practice beforehand, I feel like that's a good start. Like I'm starting off on the right foot, bringing the energy and not forgetting the lyrics, you know, for the most part. You don't want to freeze up there. That's just the worst thing that could happen. So, and if you do kind of like mess up, it's best to recover as quickly as possible. And but I definitely enjoy being on the stage, and you know, it's crazy because even for me personally, I've never really been at a concert other than like a school concert where we're playing like instruments, not like an artist concert. So for me to do something like that and like have visions of, you know, actually having my own concert that's dedicated to me, or doing an opener one day and then moving on to doing my own concerts, you know, that's something I definitely look forward to in the future.
So you'd say this was like a pretty big moment for you?
Oh yeah, it's definitely. I would say it's a little milestone for me. I've covered a lot of milestones, and within this year, it hasn't even been a year of me releasing music, but I've covered a couple milestones, and it feels great. It feels great.
How long have you been doing music for?
I've been. Wait, what were you gonna say, Anish?
I was gonna ask, like, how'd you prepare for that performance?
Carrington can tell you. I just kept listening to the one song, Tuxedo, over and over again, making sure I have the lyrics down. For me, it was not that hard to get the lyrics down, like off memory, because I was sitting with that song for a good while before I even released it, and then I was still listening to it after I released it. Right. But I was sitting in the car after I got it ready for performance, I was just sitting in my car just reciting the lyrics with Carrington, and he's like, "Yeah, put something a little bit more energy in that." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." But he's like, "You better not mess up." And I was like, "Oh, I got it. Don't worry about it." I told him not to worry about it, and it looks like I proved him right. You didn't have to worry about me.
Yeah.
And yeah. But to the other question of how long I've been doing music, I've been releasing music since November of last year. I started with SoundCloud songs, and then I still have some SoundCloud songs that are not on bigger platforms, but then I started really releasing on bigger platforms around that time. But I really started getting into it in January of this year, of 2022. And that's when I was really starting to get into, because I used to record every day. And then after that, I was like, okay, let me really start like mixing this down and mastering it so that I can release it on platforms for other people to hear. Mm-hmm. My mom told me, actually, it was Monday. My mom told me I used to grab phones because my parents would upgrade their phones and they would keep the old one. They wouldn't give it back to the service provider. Right. So I would grab the phone with no SIM card, nothing. All you can do is like play the games that are on it and record messages, like record like audio memos, basically. Yeah. And she would tell me I would be recording myself often, sometimes video, sometimes just audio.
So it's in your phone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was doing that. And as a kid, I used to write a lot of poems growing up. I used to write like stories. I used to write, and I used to write stories and I used to write poems. And that's why I was such a good writer in high school as well. A lot of my English teachers were like, "Oh, you write well," and I was like, "Yeah, I just like writing." Even though I chose to be like in STEM over being an English major, because who wants to be an English major?
Right.
Yeah. So it was a long time coming. I guess it just took certain life events to kind of like steer me into that direction.
So have you done music before in like a lesser status before fully committing to be an artist?
I used to be a drummer at my old church I still go to this church, but I used to be a drummer, and then I kind of let it go. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I used to be a drummer in that. I tried to teach myself piano and guitar when I was in high school, so around 14, 15. Yeah, that's really my music history. Then like I used to play the trumpet from 7th grade, I think, to my senior year of high school. So a good like 7 years or so, if I'm not mistaken.
Kids. Staying in music.
Yes. Yeah, I used to play music. I was really good at it too. Like, I was not the best in like the region or stuff like that, but I could hold my own and within my own peers in the band and every band that I was in, starting from intermediate to high school. So to the point where in high school, I was the section leader in my senior year. So,
do you play anything now?
Nah, I don't. I don't. I sold my trumpet after I graduated. I kind of like, it was my band directors. Like the main band director was kind of like, he was not a bad band director. I'm not gonna harp on him for it, but he was very selective and it showed a lot of favoritism, and I didn't like it. And then, but there was an assistant band director that I grew to like be close to, and he's. I wish I could go see him, but I'm not the type of person that like goes back to my high school. Like I'm not that guy because I didn't peak in high school. I'm still getting good right now. Like I'm still doing better.
Right, Jack Harlow.
Yeah, I didn't peak in high school, man. If you look at where I was in high school and where I'm at now, like I'm steadily improving. So, yeah.
You're still out here getting cuter.
Exactly. Come on now.
Of course.
So back to your performance. How did you feel while you're up there on stage? Was it like everything you wanted, kind of?
I don't know. Part of it was kind of like a blur for when I start like looking back at it, because those 2.5 minutes, like when you're on the stage, it feels like forever, but when you're already off the stage, it was like a blink of an eye,
Right.
And plus, I wasn't fully sober. I had a couple of drinks before I went on. As
liquid courage.
Yeah, liquid courage, as y'all would say. But I felt up there. I felt pretty good about it. I felt like by the time I get to my third or fourth performance, I'm definitely gonna be really like getting the crowd to really respond to me instead of just reciting my lyrics to the people. You know, I see a difference between just reciting your lyrics and then actually like putting on a show for people to really engage in it, you know?
Yeah. So how do you feel like after? I know that was part of it, but like, do you see points where you need to improve in like your preparation for it, or do you want to like add some choreography to your music while you're up there?
When it comes to choreography, I would have to make songs that kind of is built into it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's songs that you can like the song literally tells you what to do as a dance move. I'm not that type of artist, but I've seen other artists do it. But coming off the stage and realizing who won and where I stood, like even because I got judges, there were judges there who scored me on these categories and not like my originality and my marketability and my performance as a whole. You know, I got scores that kind of showed me like there's a lot of potential. Yeah. Over like it was like out of 10, I was at a 7. So that's pretty really good for someone. That's really good for someone who's just starting. Yeah. You know, I didn't stand there and freeze. I definitely showed up and showed out for myself. So I don't beat myself up for little flubs or things like that, because I did exceptional for someone who didn't have any experience beforehand. And also I got to talk to one of the DJs there who told me personally, like, I have music that could be on the radio that could really like blow me up one day. Is just keep working, keep getting better. And that's what I've been hearing since I started releasing music, was like, there's so much potential, and what I can do is just putting in the work. Yep. And since January till now, I have a vault of music. I have so much unreleased music that I want to put out for my audience and kind of also grow my audience. So it's just a matter of time. Really, it's a question of time, because the talent is there, the work ethic is there. It's just time, you know.
Right.
Speaking about your vault,
I think
you want to like talk about some of that, some of your songs.
What do you mean? You want me to leak my stuff? What are you talking about?
Well, I guess.
And is what you're saying?
Well, about you just described like how you go about making your music. You know, like what comes first, the lyrics or the beats, that kind of thing. Just give us a general overview of how you go about that.
That's a good question. It's a mixture. Sometimes I write what's in my mind, and then later I find a beat, and then like I go back to the notes and I kind of write it down. Because like there's like artists like J. Cole who like still use a notebook. I use my phone. It's the easier way to access my notes and just type all of what I'm thinking and like write it in a poem format. But most of the time when I'm like really in the mood to record, I'm listening to beats. I'm listening to the beat, and then I kind of vibe check the beat. Like, is this somber? Is this more hype? Is this something I can be introspective on? And then I start writing. And the beats that I listen to, they're on YouTube, and they come with titles. So when I'm writing a song, like, sometimes I write it in relation to the beat. Like, it has a title, like let's say Tuxedo Beat, because that's the most recent song people have been listening to. So Tuxedo it was a ski mask type beat, and I think it literally had the title Tuxedo. So I was like, let me rap a song that involves the word tuxedo, and literally that's how that song was created and stuff like that. So it's a mixture. Sometimes I just be writing to myself and getting my feelings out, because I journal. So yeah, that's how it goes.
Do you have a certain type of beat that you find yourself more comfortable with?
I'd say J Cole type beats. One day I'm trying to implement that knowledge of like that feel of those beats to one day I'll start producing for myself, because I want to be an all around artist. I don't want to be just a songwriter, and I want to also like be a musician, the musician aspect of it, like really knowing my music, like music theory and all that jazz. Be a beat maker, be a producer.
Already have the background for it.
I have a little background in it, yeah, I do. But it's just taking it to the next level, where like using the actual digital audio workstations where I can build beats like Kenny Beats, like K Tronada, and people like that, and even J. Cole, he produces his own beats. Some of his songs are produced by himself and stuff like that, you know. It's not necessary.
How long do you usually take to make a song?
When I first started, it took a day, but they were trash. They were garbage. They were literally the first songs I would write were in a day, and they would be garbage.
Appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
Honestly.
There's a lot of songs that they're never gonna see the light of day. Like, I still have them for memory's sake, but they're never gonna see the light of day. But typically now, usually it takes a day. It still takes a day. Sometimes it takes two, because what I do is I record whatever I have in mind, and then usually I write at night. I rarely do I write during the day. I usually write in the middle of the night, so I don't sleep a lot. But I usually write I write a verse and a hook at night, record it on the beat, tweak it up, and then make it sound good. So it's like it sounds like it sounds like a full song, but it's just half of it. And then go back in the morning, listen to it, and then add more to finish it, and then add layers and stuff like that. I think the shortest amount of time I took for a song was Tuxedo, and another unreleased song that I have. It was like a day. It was like a solid day. The longest time I had for a song was probably Fear, because I had to rewrite 2 of the verses like 3 times.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So it took a couple days to go back in, and that's not even including like mixing and mastering, because I do that on my own. I have to engineer my own music. But when it comes to writing, for Fear, I think was the one that took the longest, because I had to go rewrite some of the verses for that one. And my final version y'all hear, took a couple tries to get to that point. I think the first verse was written one time and one time only, but definitely the second and the third verse took a couple tries.
All right. This will be in the past for when the actual podcast comes out, but you have a concert, another one coming up, right?
I do, yeah. August 20th, Saturday.
All right.
In Houston.
Houston.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped for it. I was like, anxiety, I do have like issues with anxiety and things like that. So even when it came to this first showcase that happened on Sunday, I had anxiety for it, even though I knew about it 2 months ahead.
Oh, wow.
I knew about it 2 months ahead. It kind of gave me anxiety, and then it didn't really hit until I was driving over there. But the way I kind of like psych myself out is by like, I act like I already done it before. It's 2 things. Like one, I'm like, I basically act like I'm the shit, you know, not to be cursing and stuff, but I act like I know what I'm doing. Y'all here to see me do my thing. So let me act like I know what I'm doing. And on top of that, going to the showcase where I'm not the only artist allowed me to just take in what other people are doing and implement it. To what I was gonna do, because I wasn't the first one, so I was able to kind of see other people perform and kind of try to implement the way they move, the way they kind of express, the way they're rapping or singing to their songs, and implement it to my performance. You know, kind of make mental notes.
So can we be expecting some Dez features with other artists?
I hope so. I definitely hope so. There was a lot of talent that I saw that night. That I do want. There was a singer, Taryn Blake. She's great. Check out her music. She's a very good. I wouldn't categorize as R&B. She has a little bit more songs outside of that, but she's definitely a great R&B artist. And there's a lot of songs I have in my vault that involve R&B, and there's songs that I want to do in the future that involve R&B that I would love to have her vocals on, and you know, get her as a feature, or maybe convince her to let me do a feature for her. You know,
right?
Stuff like that. So there's another artist called Testimony who's implementing rock sounds, and he was great as well. He's a great performer and a great artist overall. So
it was amazing.
So man,
that was amazing.
Yeah. So maybe in the future I'll keep in touch with them and send them something that maybe they'll want to work on.
Something a little more personal. Can we be expecting some new projects or anything having the works anytime soon?
Y'all want the deets? Y'all want the deets?
I mean, a little bit of them, you know.
Something for the viewers to look forward to.
I say you have a lot of songs out. I would say you have more than 5 tracks out. I have more songs that I'm planning to release this latter half of the year that I have released at the beginning of the year. I've released 7 tracks, right? That's on Spotify and Apple Music. That's not including SoundCloud, because SoundCloud has more tracks on there. I've only released 7 tracks. The amount of tracks that I'm going to release from now to December is going to be more.
Okay.
So it's going to be more than 7 tracks that y'all going to enjoy. It's going to be at separate times, but definitely y'all going to see my versatility. You're going to see my delivery skills and that have improved, and just the overall sound just being way better than what I've put out. Y'all going to be like, how did he improve that fast? And that's going to be what y'all going to be thinking about when I release these songs.
Okay.
But
You heard it.
I will say this.
More Dez.
I'll say this because this is the most recent thing. I'm not going to say anything else about the other songs, but there's going to be a 2-pack coming this month. I'm getting it worked out, and there's going to be a 2-pack, 2 singles coming out this month, near the end of this month. Y'all will see it on my social media with the exact date and the cover art for it. So keep an eye out for that, for sure.
All right.
I had one last question before we wrap this whole thing up. How do you go about marketing yourself?
Man,
Getting your music out there.
that's the heavy lifting that it takes for an independent artist. When
Right.
you're an independent artist like me, where you have a team, but like it's kind of still all over the place. And kind of sometimes it kind of falls on me to get everything out. Because I'll tell you this, I have my own beat selection. I write my own stuff, all me. Then I engineer my songs and then I distribute it. But a lot of the songs, except for Done With You, because that was done by you, Anis, and then Brown Sugar Baby was an idea between me and Carrington. But Paradigm Shift cover art was my own idea, and I executed that on my own. It takes a lot of time. So when it comes to marketing, if I'm not burnt out, I'm just talking about my music pretty much every day.
Wow.
I make a little note. Either I'm talking about music overall, like the artists I listen to, and sometimes I just point out, hey, this track is out. Like Call Sometimes been out since June 27th. I'm still telling people to go listen to that song. I had a great feature by Gabe Lorica. He's a great singer, and that song still needs to be checked out. Paradigm Shift, the whole EP in itself still needs to be checked out. If you already heard it once, go hear it again. Save that to your playlist. There's 3 tracks that you can add to like a hype gym playlist, so that you feel like you're that guy. You know what I'm saying? You're that guy. So a lot of marketing goes into just talking, just sending it out, hoping that people share it. Just say like, hey, this is a cool song. Go listen to it. If you like it, it wouldn't hurt to share with your friends. Make a little post about it. Just things like that. It takes a lot of work. And sometimes it can be disheartening when you see people see it, but don't do anything about it. But hey,
Right.
one day I'm gonna be doing my own thing, and people will be sharing my music without me even asking. I just know it in the future.
Yeah. Last question, actually. I'm sorry. Do you have like a message you're really trying to promote with your music? Like something you're just trying to get people to feel or understand?
Certain songs do have a message. I'd say songs like Fear have a message in there. The SoundCloud still has College and Anthem, which those are songs that have heavy messages, they're conscious rap songs.
Right.
Fear, I like to talk about Fear because that's the best conscious song I have out right now. And Fear, it's not about me like tapping into the music. It's about doing what I know I can do. I just been kind of holding myself back, and I'm trying to tell my listeners that what is it that you fear? What is it that you holding? Why is it that you're holding yourself back from achieving the things that you want to do? Like you think it's this, you think it's that, and a lot of the things that come with like mental illness and having anxiety and depression that kind of hold you back from really maximizing on your potential and things like that. And even bringing in God and like, my belief in, on higher power and kind of just, allowing him to work it all out and just do my thing and tap in, express myself, but also kind of, release my latent talent, and stuff like that. So I do have a lot of conscious songs, and I do have conscious songs that are coming up soon as well. But other songs, because a lot of people don't want to listen, they just want to dance. That's something Andre 3000 said. I do have to make bangers that don't have meanings to them, because that's what keeps people going. That's what people are gonna save. But if once my fan base starts to grow and I have like people who really care about their music, not just the one song I put out, I can hear the little lyrics that show you that I'm aware of what I'm doing. I'm aware of where I'm at in my life, and I want you to be aware with me on that, and maybe that to kind of tell you like I'm with you on that. Like I'm struggling too. Just because I'm putting my music out and things like that, I'm still struggling. I'm still human, And
it's nice that you're not trying to glamify it,
Yeah.
You're just trying to show that it's a natural part of who we are as humans,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mr. Dez. Kid Dez.
Just call me Dez, bro. I ain't no Mr.
Dez. I gotta show respect in the rap game,
Show some respect. Put some respect on my name.
I'm putting respect on your name, all right?
Yeah.
It was nice having you here.
Of course. I'd like to come back one day and show y'all the progress I've made.
Absolutely.
You have any final words for our viewers?
Again, check out Call Sometimes featuring Gabe Lorica. Again, he's a great singer. You can find him. You can find the links to his account through my account on Instagram. KID, all lowercase KID_D, the number 3 and Z or Z. Put that on your Instagram. Go follow me. And Paradigm Shift is out as well. It's a great EP. True. And I do have a 2-pack coming out in about 2 weeks from now. So definitely keep an eye out for that.
All right.
Yeah.
And we will be linking all those things you said in the description of this video. And also we will be talking about that on our Twitter. Our Twitter is up, by the way, if you haven't followed. It's EVO Podcast on Twitter. It's just our name.
Yep.
So, with that being said, wrap it up. I was your host, Carrington.
I'm Ennis.
I'm Kid Dez, baby.
Yes, sir.
And we'll catch you guys in the next one.
All right. Later.
Later.